What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York calling from the altar again, and this time we are here with Lauri of Green King. Thank you for being here. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. It's so good to have you here. It's fair to say you guys have had a very busy 2022 with the release of your EP, Rock Alley Tapes, and then we also got these uh, three new singles out. Is this all a good representation of the direction that Green King is going into in the future, or is there a lot more uncharted territory to explore?
Well, I think those are pretty good representation. I think we might have some aces in our sleeve also yet to be shown, but who knows?
Yeah.
But I think these are like the pretty much the direction we want to go.
Mhm.
I think.
Do you start off the songwriting process with like a preconceived vision of what you want it to be like, or is the songwriting process a very experimental and improvisational aspect?
Well, I usually start by just playing guitar, just like sit down and take your time and then try to write something. Or then it's like I hear some music that I like and try to copy that,
Yeah.
or not copy, but to like get inspired by some other stuff, and then that kind of makes me want to write a new song or something like that.
Mhm. When it comes to getting that inspiration, is it better if you write when you're like in the company of your bandmates, or is it better if you're kind of like alone in isolation? There's really nothing between you and your instrument.
Yeah, I usually start like just by myself, but I never take anything like super finished to the practice. Like we usually jam everything together at the band practice. It seems to work pretty good that way, so everybody can like participate and tell their opinion at the very beginning.
Hmm.
I think that works pretty well for us.
Definitely. Do you and when it comes to like the you mentioned that you would sometimes hear music that you like that inspires you. Do you have a specific set of inspirations that you uh take your technical playing from in a way, or do you take inspiration from like multiple different styles and sources?
Well, it depends. Usually, it's like if I hear something that I like, I might get inspired and then write something, or then it's like some technical exercise for guitar that like I try some new stuff and then like try to find my own way in playing that stuff. Then it usually leads up to some new melody or something like that. And then when I'm like, if I have a writer's block, then I just put on some like Savior's records and stuff like that, some old Iron Maiden. That usually gets me going.
Definitely, definitely. And do you feel like is there like a technical element that you are thinking about when you play guitar? Like, is there a theoretical background that you do follow, or are you completely on the self-taught side?
Well, I know a bit of theory, and I try to learn more every day. And I've been like practicing a lot recently, like within a couple of years or so. So there is some technical stuff, but when writing songs, it's like I don't want to lean too much towards the technique. Just have to like has to sound good
Yeah.
before showing off your skills, whatever.
Of course, I think what sounds good is what matters. And again, this is rock and roll, so there has to be a lot of rule breaking that's involved with it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
When it
definitely.
when it comes to like finishing a song, is it better if everybody in the band is on like the same page when it comes to songwriting, or could all of you having different ideas or feeling differently maybe actually help like bring contrast into the material?
Yeah, I think it's important that everybody like gets their say. Like, I don't want to like be the only one who writes the stuff. And it's usually like I might have some ideas and then I show it to the guys, and they might come up with some ideas of their own, and then it usually just ends up sounding a lot better than the original idea that I had. So I really want to the other guys also feel like they can participate in songwriting, and they have.
Yeah. Is every riff that we hear or like solo that we hear like reflective of a specific emotion that you were feeling in a way, or has music always been kind of a way to like distance yourself from your own personal life?
Yeah, it's definitely like a form of self-expression for me. Like that's the only way that I can express myself. I'm really bad at with words. So that's like probably the best way for me to like express myself, but it's not that deep. Like we just play heavy metal and want to have some fun, but it kind of, I don't know, it's the best of both worlds for me. Like I can express myself and then have fun with my friends, drink some beers and do a guitar solo.
Yeah. Well, I always ask that because like the music is always very technically impressive, but there is like a fun vibe behind it. So I'm like wondering, is there always like a moment of seriousness to execute that technical excellence?
Yeah, there might be, but it's like if it's not fun, then it's not worth doing. I think I can practice at home as much as I want,
Yeah.
and like do the technical stuff, but when it like when I transfer the stuff that I learn into a song, then it has to be like on that level that it's fun to play.
And how do you know how do you know when you are finished with a song?
Well, it might take a while. Like we might play the song over and over again, and then like after like 10 or 15 times, then we come up with some new idea how it should be. So it takes a while, but we just like practice it and jam, try new things.
And when we hear these three new singles that you released as well, is this how these songs were already originally structured in a way, or did they like change a lot over a span of time?
I think those songs like they have been pretty much how they are since they've been written. I think it took some time to get all of those together, but I think they are pretty straightforward, all the three of them, I think.
And when it comes to the final question I wanted to ask you is that when it comes to playing live, is there at all a similar energy that goes into playing live as you do in your songwriting, or do you consider playing live and songwriting two completely separate arts altogether?
Uh, not too separate, I think, because all the music that we write, we want to be able to play live. And like when the song is really good and when you're playing it at the practice place, it should like make you feel a bit the same way when you're playing it live. For us, at least, like it should like it shouldn't matter like if you play it at the band practice or if you play it at live gig. It should feel good in the same way.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, but do you sometimes find it like when you play it live, does it almost put you back in the same state of mind as when you first wrote it in a way, or being that it is in front of an audience, like it does maybe resonate with you differently in a live setting than in a studio setting?
Yeah, I think it's different every time. Like all the live shows, they are different from each other. So I would say that it's different every time we play like the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
But it feels a little bit different.
Yeah, that has to keep it interesting, right? I wonder how Bon Jovi could sometimes play like the same songs for 40 years.
Yeah. Well, if I had the money that Bon Jovi gets from playing those shows, I'd probably be able to. do the same stuff over and over again, like
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
as the
I think the paycheck gives a good reason for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, sure.
So before we go, I want to thank you for your time today. Just with the release of these three new singles, is there anything else we could be expecting from Green King in the near future in terms of tours or a full length album in the future?
Well, we've been trying to like get some gigs around Europe, and we have one confirmed now in Germany next year. But we'll see how that goes. Like, do we get any more gigs around Europe or anything like that? Because it's really hard to get like away from Finland nowadays. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
But we just continue writing new songs, and hopefully, like, we'll have the second album sooner than later. We'll
Hopefully.
see.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. We are here with Green King. Be sure to check out their new EP, Rock Alley Tapes, and three new singles that are out now. Be sure to check out God Killer, Steel on Ice, and Where Speedian Dwells. We will see you next time on Heavy New York.